Hi everyone, it's Taylor. Welcome back to my channel. I'm an American expat living in Malaysia and I like to share my life and travels with you. Well, guess what? I'm going to be moving and I'm going to take you along for the ride. Interested? Stay tuned. The first place I'm going to look at, I've really narrowed it down to just two complexes. This one's called G Residence, and it's in Desa Pandan. But as you can see, there's retail on the first level. There's a Starbucks, an A&W, Papa Rich, burger and sushi, and I believe there's a grocery store down there. So that's all very convenient. Plus, this neighborhood is great for walking. There's lots of other places nearby, including Soul Sacrifice, one of my favorite restaurants, which is just like a block away. So we'll look at the apartments here, and then we'll see. I'll give you a little tour of what I found. Well, probably you're wondering why I would want to move. You know, I just finished fixing up my apartment, so it's just how I like it. So I don't know. Let me go over my reasons. The number one is the stairs. Now, I've told you, it's not that big a deal, but honestly, it's 20 stairs. If I forget something upstairs, I have to think really hard about going up to actually getting it. So, no stairs in the new place. Also, I'd like to get rid of the horrible wait by the elevator that we have now. Oh my goodness. Sometimes it takes over 5 minutes, and I'm serious. And that's just lately. So it's getting worse. I think the building's either getting more full or something like that. So what else? Well, the pool has been closed for the last 6 months. Plus, I've told you before, it's totally in the shade, so way too cold for me. So that's two reasons. I don't know. Maybe the aircon is a third. I've told you before, the lower level of my unit never gets below 24 Celsius, and the upstairs never gets below 26. So I don't think most people would accept that, but I have, and with the aid of fans, it's been okay. But I don't want to have to go through that anymore. I also would like a little more space. So come with me, and I'll show you a couple places that I found. So I made a wish list. Let me go over it with you. First thing, no stairs. Second would be a view. Third would be a balcony. I miss my balcony from Penang. A little more square footage would be nice too. Maybe a guest room and a bigger kitchen. You all know I have the world's smallest kitchen. A little more storage would be nice, and if possible, a bathtub. Now that's not too much to ask for, is it? Oh, and maybe a pool that's in the sun. I'd like that too. Okay, before I take you on the tour of the apartments that I was looking at, let me go over a few things of how to find an apartment in Malaysia. It's not real difficult, but it's not that easy either. First of all, my best advice is figure out which complex you want to be in. Now that's probably not that easy, and you probably are going to have to live somewhere else in the meantime to get a feel for the city, to get a feel for the neighborhoods, and decide which complexes are going to work for you. Now, after 2 years here, I found a couple of complexes that I thought would work, so I looked into them first. First of all, you can look on Property Guru or iProperty.com, and you can find basically what's available out there. Now, my experience with this in the past has been that you contact the agent that's shown on the listing, and they say, oh, that one's already taken. Well, that didn't happen to me this time, so that's a good thing. But I'll tell you what I did first, which makes sense to me, but I went back to my realtor who helped me find the place that I'm living now. Isn't that what you do? Loyalty to your realtor? Well, I thought so. Anyway, I asked him to check if there was anything available at G Residence, which is not far from my building, so I thought he might know about it. Anyway, he took a couple days and got back to me and said, they're all taken. There's no available units there. So I said, iProperty and Property Guru show a lot of units. Are they just wrong? And he said, oh, they're mostly tenanted. So I didn't believe him, but I was shocked that he would just lie to me. Either he didn't want to do it, or I'll explain why. In Malaysia, it's important to deal with the actual agent to the owner of the unit. Otherwise, your agent is going to act like a buyer's agent or a renter's agent, and they're going to try to charge you a fee for finding the place. Now, every other time I've gotten a place, I've had a buyer's agent and I've had to pay like a half month's extra rent to the agent. Now, I'm not sure about the legality of that because the owners are supposed to be the one to pay the fees to the agent, but that's just the way it's done here. But this time I managed to find the actual agent to the owner, and so I avoid paying that fee, which is a lot of money. I also had trouble searching for the area I wanted to be in. So, yeah, Desa Pandan was easy. But this area where I live and where just near me, adjacent to me, around Glen Eagles Hospital, I don't know what that area is called. So when I did the searches, it wasn't coming up with anything. I had to figure out what the buildings' names were and then search under that. So maybe I'm just doing it wrong on Property Guru, but that's the way I got around it. I had to figure it out by the property's name. So this all makes it kind of confusing and difficult. When you contact the agent online, try to find the one that it says they're the listing agent, and then contact them and they'll arrange a showing. Now, 9 times out of 10, they're going to bring the owner with them. I don't know if the owner wants to check you out or that's just the way it's done. So it's a lot of work to set it up, really. And then if you don't take it, it's just wasted time on their behalf. So G Residences did tick a lot of the boxes. It's larger. The units I looked at were 1,400 square feet. Now, as you know, I'm only in 810 square feet now, so that's enormous in comparison. Very similar to the size apartment I had in Penang. So that was great. But how did it match up with my checklist? Pretty well, I'd say. First of all, it had the size. That's a good check. It had a balcony. Check. It had a bathtub. Check. So those were all good things. Now, this building has 2 advantages. One looks directly west towards KLCC and has spectacular views, as you can see here. The only problem with that is the total afternoon sun you're going to get, and you're probably going to have to close your drapes to stay cool. Plus, there's a new highway right at the base of this building. And I was thinking, well, maybe it won't be that noisy, but out on the balcony, you really could hear it. And it's not even a particularly busy highway. So I thought, well, maybe I can deal with that. But anyway, the first place I looked at faced north. It only had a partial KLCC view, as you can see here. And the apartment was nice enough. A problem I had with this building in general is that the kitchens in these units look like an afterthought stuck in the corner. But this one actually had a wet kitchen too, adjacent to the kitchen. Now, I don't really need a wet kitchen, and I would prefer to use that space for storage and laundry, but it had the wet kitchen. So that was sort of a drawback for me, because it had 0 storage, actually. Not one wardrobe or closet in the entire unit. Well, if you're renting an unfurnished unit, you don't want to have to go out and buy wardrobes. They're not cheap and they're bulky, and you wouldn't want to move them when you move either. So the units really should come equipped with wardrobes. I would have much preferred wardrobes to the wet kitchen, that's for sure. The pool area is gorgeous at G Residence, as you can see here. And I was so thrilled to find out that it was designed by my new friend Julian, who designed Desa Park City's landscape. So it's just another complex that he's done. And it's turned out lovely. The pool is gorgeous and has panoramic KLCC views, but it also has panoramic highway views. That's like so close to it, you couldn't believe it. So I'm like, I don't know. I looked at another unit in that building too that did face west. And although it was a little bit nicer, the kitchen was nicer, it had an island, which really helped. And it had wardrobes and everything, but I don't know. It was on a lower floor, so it really had a good view of the highway. I don't know if the fabulous KLCC view was enough to distract me from the highway. So I had to think about that. They were both nice, but what I didn't like about the building were the hallways. Oh, I wish I had taken some pictures. It was so dark, you felt like you had to use a flashlight to find the keyhole to your unit. I swear. Anyway, that was very unappealing. The lobby was nice, and I liked that because it didn't have any upholstered furniture, which in my building is disgustingly dirty and never cleaned. that and the neighborhood was fabulous. You know, all the amenities in the building itself, the Starbucks, several restaurants, a grocery store, that's all great. But nearby, there's Dunkin' Donuts, there's Soul Sacrifice, like I said. My vet for Earl Grey couldn't be more convenient. I could walk him over there. So these are all good things, and I'm going to really have to think hard about it. Now let's head over to the next place I'm going to show you. It's called De Rapport, which I find a silly name, really. But it just means everyone's, likes each other, or everyone gets along in the complex. I find that hard to believe, but I guess it's possible. Anyway, let's go look at that. Well, after a short ride, I'm here at the second complex I'm going to look at. It's big, about 1,000 units, but it's divided up into 5 towers, so those make it much more manageable. But take a look. I think it's nice. It's a little off the beaten track, though. Although it has 45 retail outlets here, none of them are taken, none of them are open. So it's totally different than the other neighborhood, which is alive and thriving. So I don't know, that's a tough one. The apartment better be pretty nice. So this is only a couple of blocks from where I live now. And you can see the enormity of the project. The apartment I'm going to look at is in that building over there. These condominiums start at 1,100 square feet, which is what I'm going to look at, and they go up to several thousand square feet. It's mostly larger units, but a few smaller ones that I can afford. So let's take a look at what's here. Here's the neighborhood. That's the Korean embassy over there. But it's pretty quiet back here. It's not a through street. It dead ends down there. So that's cool. I'm sure there'll be more construction here eventually, but for now it's quiet. Let's go inside and take a look. So as I said, I contacted the agent for the owner for this unit. Now, I hadn't looked much in this building. As I said, I found it hard to find on Property Guru or iProperty, but I did find it finally, and they had a lot to choose from. Now, it's a more expensive building than I'm in now. To start off with, the lowest rent they had there was 1,100 ringgit more than I'm paying now. Now, I'm willing to pay that, but I have to really like the place to go up that much in rent. You can see from the floor plan that it's pretty straightforward. I love that it has an entrance hall, built-in shoe storage. Oh my gosh, I would love that. It has a powder room right off the entrance hall, and then you come into the main living space. And it's pretty big, about the same size as mine now, so I don't think that would be a problem. But the nice thing about it is the kitchen's much larger. See how big this island is. And it has a separate laundry room right off the kitchen. So that's really nice. And the master bedroom's right next to the living room, no stairs, that's great. And then it has a bathroom between the 2 bedrooms that's really nice with a separate shower and a bathtub and a whole lot of storage in the walk-in wardrobe. The second bedroom is more like a den, but I probably am going to make it up like a guest room too. It'll be nice, if I decide on that one. The pool area in this building was incredible. Oh my gosh, I think there's 3 or 4 different pools. One's enormous, way too big for me. But there's a smaller pool right near the building I would be in, and jacuzzis too. So that would be really nice. Another great thing about this unit is it has windows on 3 sides, which is sort of hard to imagine, but it does. That means none of the walls are connecting to other units too. So that's great for sound. Anyway, I only looked at the 1 unit there because they're all pretty much the same. Another plus for this unit too was that it's never been occupied. The building's like 5 years old, but no one's ever lived in this unit. So that makes it like new, which is really special. I don't know if I've ever lived in a brand new place. So I had some thinking to do. So I went home and I thought about it, and I got the floor plans and I drew on the floor plans and tried to figure out where my furniture would go in each unit and that sort of thing. And I was measuring all the pros and cons of each building. And I don't know. It basically comes down to what feels like home to you, if you ask me. If it feels like home, then it can be your home. So you ready to know which apartment I decided on? You probably won't be surprised. but I'm going to give you a 1-minute tour of it here. This tour was made by the realtor, and I think he did a very good job. But take a look and see what you think. Isn't it nice? I am so glad to get this unit. And it's 2,800 ringgit a month, which I think I can afford pretty easily. The ones in G residence actually were more, 2,900 and 3,000 a month. Yeah, they're bigger, but they're older and not nice in a lot of ways. So were you surprised? Probably not. It is the nicest one if you ask me. I'm planning to move in early July, so I don't know about my schedule for filming. I'm going to Penang this week for my semi-annual doctor's checkup, and then it's going to be packing time. I'll try to get a lot of video in of the actual move, the packing, all that. Maybe not that interesting, but I don't know. I'm not going to have anything else to film, so I might as well film what I'm doing. If you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe, and check the notification bell too. That way you won't miss any of my future content. And if you really want to help Taylor and show your appreciation for his channel, buy him a coffee. Yeah, buy me a coffee. Buy Earl Grey a coffee. Or just think of it as a housewarming gift. That would be lovely too. But I appreciate it so much. Your response to Buy Me a Coffee has been incredible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But that's all I have for today. Now, I'm not sure I'm going to do any filming in Penang. Maybe I will. I'll be staying with Jeff. And I'm going to be there for 4 nights, so maybe I'll get some filming done. But that's all I have for today. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye.